right two lanes to keep right.
Hey friends, it's Monday, August 23, 2021. You're watching the most overlooked and underrated coaching conversation on the internet, and that's my opinion, but I'm convinced that our future deserves our focus today, and that's why we have to prepare to go there, right? And that is the name of this coaching conversation. It's all about helping you stay focused practically on the future and then figure out how to lead yourself there tactically day by day. My name is Peter, and it is such a joy, really, to go on this extended coaching journey with you, just to keep you company, to keep this conversation alive, and hopefully help you keep the future on the front burner. You know, life is crazy, and it feels like it's only getting crazier. And so what that causes us to do is retreat and retract, when really this is the time to push ourselves, to take risk, to dream bigger, to go further, and to trust that the long game will always be there if we are leading ourselves with intentionality and integrity. And so I want to welcome you back to the future frontier, where we are going together. I mean, you have way more future in front of you than you could ever imagine. And so let's make today count. Let's not, daydream. Let's not escape. Let's not fantasize, oh man, I wish my life were different. Well, go and make it different. Go make a difference. And that's why I've started this coaching conversation. I show up daily for you. I want you to stay encouraged. And I also want you to get the mindsets and the skill sets that can help you lead yourself there. And so that's kind of the why behind this coaching conversation. I've figured out, just from experience and observation, that most people, including leaders, don't know how to lead others into a better future. And it's simply because they are skipping one of the most foundational parts of leadership, which is self-leadership. And so they don't know how to take other people into a better future unless and until they are willing to go on that journey themselves. Are you willing to lead yourself into a better future, to actually put skin in the game, to go for it, to be the prototype or the example, to really lead by example, so to speak, and let others follow you because they trust you and they want to go where you're going. So that's why Prepare to Go There is your invitation. It's a call to action to friends and leaders alike who want to grow personally and then help others in the way that they lead. And the kind of the framework for this whole coaching journey is two parts. It is figuring out how do we actually stay focused practically on the future, right? Not just distancing or emotionally detaching, by reverting into some dream world, but actually engaging what's important and what's possible. And then how do you lead yourself there in the meantime? Yes, you have major quest clear, and your intentions are strong, and your resolve is sure. But what do you do in the meantime? And a lot of people, they are so set on a specific goal, dream, promise, however you want to frame it, but they still aren't ready to go into that kind of future. And it's because they're not doing the work today to prepare to go there. And so I'm really big on self-leadership, on figuring out how do you lead yourself, how to focus, how to be productive, how to power through, so that way you can go the distance and make a difference. If this resonates with you, I want to give you a quick but clear invitation to join the email community. It's called Future Friends, and it's all about people that want to go on that kind of journey. They want to work on themselves. They want to make each day count. And you want to do it in the context of community. You want to find your future some more friends. And that's what is happening here. You get a weekly email from me of all of the content that comes out on this coaching journey. So you don't have to hunt and look for it. It comes to you just so you can have a menu of motivation. You can have a toolbox of tactics that will be available, that will keep you going. And I kind of imagine all this content just like wood that goes on the fire. You just have to keep putting more of these conversations, more of these insights into your line of sight, into your scope, into your fire. How are you going to keep learning, keep burning over the long haul? And it's by staying engaged with these conversations, even if it's repetition. I'm really big on even if it's repetition, it's still valuable. And so if you're willing, jump on in. I would love for you to be a part of the Future Friends. A lot of exciting things are stirring up for the Future Friends. I'll be sharing a little bit more in a second. But the first one is we are doing our very first giveaway, and Prepare to Go There is coming this Friday into the 50th episode. So I've been live streaming going on 10 weeks now, which has been really cool, consecutively every weekday, with the exception of 1 week, which we were out on vacation. And other than that, I've been showing up daily without skipping a beat, and it's been an amazing ride. And I really appreciate each of you for being my inspiration and for helping me with your encouragement. But we're celebrating the 50th, and so we had to do something big. And I am inviting 5 of you to join a online only leadership mastermind. And so that's my big giveaway. This is something I love to do with friends and leaders. I do this. I enjoy kind of that small group setting where we can go really deep and really far together. And so I'm going to be hosting a leadership mastermind, and I'm making space. I'm adding 5 more spaces to that mastermind, and hopefully you can join in. So if you go to Instagram, you'll actually see the post that announces that. I will show you what it looks like, and I want you to click on it and get all of the details. There it is. It's very simple, but that's what it looks like. I'm going to read it to you. It says, to celebrate my 50th live stream show, I'll be choosing 5 winners to join in an online only leadership mastermind. We'll tackle some high impact leadership topics, personal application, breakout sessions, meet some new friends, walk away with winning strategies. Here's the main part. How do you enter? How do you actually do this? Number one, make sure you're subscribed to my email list, which is the link at the bottom of this video. You can also find it at peterbirchfield.com. And then number 2, comment in a post and tag your friends, and go from there. And so there's kind of a little bit of a game aspect. We've kind of gamified this. So you get bonus points, tag friends in the comments, and you'll get 1 extra entry per tag. So like if you tag your friend, then we'll add your name in twice into this giveaway, and then share this post on your story and tag me. That's important so I can see it. Then you'll get 15 bonus entries. I'll put your name in 15 times just for reposting it on Instagram. It would really help, and it will be a big help to you and all your friends. And you guys have just blown me away. It is so fun to just see you go hard on all of these tags, names, and all that. You'll actually swipe through and you'll see the details for the Leadership Mastermind, and I'm giving it away. It's a free giveaway. I want to celebrate the 50th. I want to, go deep in this Leadership Mastermind. And the theme of this mastermind is future focused leadership. We have a lot of examples of bad leadership, and we need some new examples and some more examples of future focused leadership. And so here are the big ideas. Which self leadership practices are most important for you to model in front of your team? How do you actually communicate new ideas effectively? Like you're doing change management, some sort of organizational change. Maybe you're in transition from one leadership to another, and you're a part of that or you're leading that. How do you actually communicate new ideas, new identity effectively? It's going to be really valuable. Something that I've had a lot of fun working with leaders on recently, like in the past, I would say 5, 6 months, is we've been going really hard on calendar strategies to accomplish their mission critical goals on time. I've learned that a lot of leaders just are not using their calendar with the right tools and tactics. And so I'm going to kind of break off some of the um, um limiting beliefs about just the way you approach the future, and then give you some better tools, not just a software app, but actual like strategies and behaviors that you can start practicing. So I could talk about that a lot, as you can see. And then last two, identifying the future of what you do in the middle of disruption. There's a phrase called the fog of war, and a lot of leaders are in that right now. And so I'm going to help you really detect where the future is on the front lines of what you do, and to begin to move towards it even in the middle of disruption. And I think you would agree disruption is one of the best times to take risk and to own opportunities. And then the last one is growing a community of leaders that will take on anything together. So you're like, wow, that all sounds good. Where do I go for that? You can go to my Instagram post. My handle is at Peter Birchfield. And then find that post, and then you can get after it. And I encourage you, repost the whole thing, get 15 extra bonus name, put your name in 15 times, and then you can also tag other people and get some points, so to speak, that way as well. So that is um, the info on that. Let me get back into this. I also want to give you guys a gift, which is a free fail proof planning guide. And maybe you have or have not experienced the planning guide yet. I'll give you more info about that. But if you click the link below, the same link, that will sign you up and get you in the Future Friends email community. All right, let's get after it. How do we get started so we can get better? That is easier said than done. And we know what we want to accomplish. We feel the frustration. We want to see improvements. We want to see results. And yet, man, just getting started is half the battle. I like this quote, and I think it sums up a lot. Um, Les Brown, who's an amazing motivational leader, he said, "You don't have to be great to get started." Well, that's a relief, right? You don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to be great. I think that sums it up. I mean, thanks. It's been a good show. No, I want to encourage you that if you will learn how to get yourself going, you will become unstoppable. Because once you realize the power of personal momentum, then no one else can slow you down. No one else can derail you. You have to do this yourself, and no one else is going to do this for you. And there are many, many friends and leaders out there, and they have good motives, and they want to make a difference, and they want to go the distance, and they want to lead their life with intentionality and integrity, and they have great vision statements and mission statements. But it doesn't matter if you are waiting on other people, and if you're waiting on other things, when really they are waiting on you. You say, well, I have a direct report and they don't really listen to my ideas and I don't feel welcomed or heard or appreciated. And I've tried, but it didn't work. And I'm done and whatever. You're leaving yourself in limbo and you're not willing to make choices, make changes. And I just want to say it as directly, because to be unclear is to be unkind. And so I want to tell you, you have more empowerment than you realize, and you have to get yourself going. And so I want to ask you this question and kind of pull you into the chat. If you're watching, go ahead and say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're already a future friend. But I want to ask you this question, and you can put this in the chat as well. How many of you feel stuck when it comes to getting started? Man, waking up in the morning or doing that workout or making that breakfast or making that coffee or sending out those emails, or the work. It's so funny how this work can even be very repetitive for many of us, but just getting into that workflow feels more like a workout, and it is tough. We don't want to start. We have a propensity to procrastinate. What do you do? How do you actually power through the procrastination? And you'll go through a season or a cycle of motivation, willpower, discipline. You'll say, man, I'm going to do different. I'm so fed up. I'm not going to, take no for an answer. I'm going to go for it. And it just becomes a cycle because you build up your motivation and your willpower to such a frenzy that you blast off like a rocket, but then you've got all of that dead weight. You've expended all of that fuel, so to speak. And the only thing you can do is carry it with you, carry all that baggage with you of that expended energy. And if you do not shed that and actually move into the next level and continue to build off of that momentum, then it's going to pull you down. The very thing that was helping you get started can actually pull you back, pull you down if you don't know how to make that next transition into the next stage in out of one layer of the atmosphere and going further out. So how many of you feel stuck? Put it in the comments. Let me know where you feel stuck and what is so hard for you to get started on. Maybe it's writing that book that you told yourself you wanted to do. Maybe it's you know growing your community, reaching out relationally. Maybe you've set some mission-minded goals and you really want to reach more people with the gospel. Maybe you want to make the money that is going to help you take your life and your family to the next level. Like, what does that look like for you? We can get stuck, and it's kind of a stall while we are waiting on starting. So if we don't know how to start decisively and ride on that momentum, then we won't be able to level up and lead at the way we need to. So I want to just kind of hit this head on, because the truth is, when you can get yourself going, you're more invested with the follow through. You're more invested to actually follow through. And this is one of those subtle yet major distinctions that I have found. Whenever I feel this struggle or this pull, this kind of undertow, this current that's kind of dragging me down again in my motivation, dragging me down on my energy level, dragging me down. Here's the thing that is normally missing: my own choice, my own sense of empowerment. And I realize, oh no, I put the ball in someone else's court again. And I was expecting someone else to wake me up, or something else to motivate me to get up, or I was expecting someone else to, quote, remind me to do that project, remind me at the right time when it comes back. And those are all, helpful as systems, but can actually be sabotaging as a substitute, because if we're not careful, we can actually give away our own sense of empowerment. And the key here that I just want to get across is you have to get yourself going. That's the point. That is the whole week that we're going to be talking about is this is you and what you want to do. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. All right. But the reason you're going to wake up, the reason you're going to put in the work, the reason you're going to do the training, the reason you're going to build the systems that help your team scale, the reason you're going to get away so you can get ahead, the reason is because there is something intrinsically valuable that is worth the work, worth the wait as you navigate towards the future. And we forget that. We forget that. So many times people quit on their future because they just forget that they needed to focus on it. And this is kind of the whole big idea is don't let the future get off the front burner. And so this is a simple but mission critical tactic that I want you to start, trying, applying, multiplying. Say, okay, I want to do this for myself. I want to do this by myself. I want to learn how do I actually get myself going. And you need that personal momentum because when you can learn how to turn that momentum on, then no one else can turn it off. When you turn your personal momentum on, no one else will be able to turn it off because now you've learned the skill set and you've learned the mindset to say, no, I did it once, I can do it again. I know what this feels like. I know how to go through the different steps and stages of this process. And so I really want to encourage you. This is going to be important. This is something that you're going to do on a daily basis, but there are principles that are kind of laced in to these lifestyle habits that actually scale and grow and help you with bigger things in life. Very simply, if you're faithful with little, you'll be found faithful over much. And so one of those simple things we have to ask ourselves is, hey, why don't I want to start? It's probably because I wasn't willing to get myself going. I was abdicating my own sense of personal responsibility, and I was leaking in my own sense of personal inspiration and motivation. And I just kind of let this thing drift further and further away. And the truth is, when I pause and when I reflect and when I, bring this thing back and I get grounded again and I kind of get above the tree line and I can see the horizon again and I think about it and I kind of process all that frustration and I get it all out of the way and then I look and I get clear-headed again and I go, this really is something I want to do. And somehow my self talk started turning into self sabotage. And I started thinking that all these things that were actually good were somehow bad. All these things that actually had a lot of rewards was somehow some punishment. All these things that I thought were like really extreme. Actually, this is the path to, a successful and fulfilling, lifestyle. And so getting yourself going is a simple but central best practice for future friends, for those that really do want to put this to work. So I want to give you 3 areas where I want you to get yourself going. And the first one is in the morning. How do you get yourself going in the morning? Some of you, it's very easy. You are considered the morning person, right? You are the morning lark, so to speak. Some of you, you're the night owls. I don't know what it is, but for me, I am a morning person, but it is a choice. I have to build through repetition the value of waking up in the morning. I have a lot of blogs on becoming a morning person. I didn't become a morning person because my bio clock was somehow just already synced up for that. I can sleep in just like anybody else. I could stay up just like anybody else. But I choose to lead myself when to go to bed, when to wake up, and what to do with my hours because I realize how valuable it is. And so I want you to begin to get yourself going in the morning. Now, tomorrow, the whole conversation is going to be just on this one point. How do you get yourself going in the morning? And I've learned this is an pretty much an evergreen topic because just when you think you've got it, you kind of lose it. And I love repetition because number one, it reinforces the values, it refreshes you on the routines, it helps you just kind of keep this thing front and center, and it'll be really enjoyable just to either see your progress or to have a little bit of hope that changing your behaviors, changing your habits is possible. So the first one is get yourself going in the morning. Man, I want to encourage you if you're single or if you're married, this applies to you. If you are leading yourself or you're already leading a bunch of people, this applies to you. So many times we make excuses, we make justifications, and we act like this is not in our court, that this is not our responsibility, that somehow we just make these just excuses, and we're not getting ourselves going in the morning. And what's happening is we're missing personal momentum and we're losing a lot of daytime. We're losing a lot of opportunities. We're losing that chance to get ahead. And so get yourself going in the morning. It'll make a difference. The next one is how do you get yourself going with work? You can have a schedule and you can say, I am going to show up. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be working at this time to this time. And, when you work through your weekly planning session, you can see all the work happening on paper, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen in person. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen in reality. One of the most ironic events is when you are very clear on what needs to get done, the steps it could go through, and then the time block that you have made, and then you show up and you still don't feel it. You still don't feel like you need to be working, or you feel exempt because, oh, I'm just going to check this real quick, or I'm going to do that, or something came up, or it turned out for the better. And we make all of these little cliches in the moment, but then we look back and we have this sense of frustration due to a loss of expectation, right? There's a moment that just where the floor kind of fell out from under us, and we're in this free fall, and we're wondering what happened. It's because you actually made time to show up, to be productive at work, but you didn't get yourself going with the job. There's actually a on ramp. There's actually a path with some steps you can take to show up and then actually have personal momentum to go through the whole day. What if you start working, but you run out of fuel, you run out of gas, whether that's energy level or whether that's just motivation or whatever, and you still have more quality time to work, but you're not feeling it. That is something that you have to be looking at proactively instead of just coasting through retroactively. I want you to get a plan, and I want you to be intentional. How am I going to get myself going before the workday begins? How do I make that? It's a small window of time. It might be 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It might be 30 minutes, whatever. But from the time you wake up to the time you go to work, how are you going to make that transition, and how are you going to really show up and give, 100%, and you got to get yourself going. instead of saying, well, I'm just going to show up to the meeting, I'm going to see what other people are saying, or I'm going to check my emails, I'll just kind of respond to that first. And I'm going to, all of these things are saying, I'm not going to get myself going. I'm going to let that get me going. I'm going to let that get them get me going. I'm going to let other things than me get myself going. And this can sneak into your morning routine. It can sneak into your work hours and your workflow. It can sneak into your habits. And so I want you to be very focused on, if I can just get started, I know that things will get better. And instead of procrastinating and lean back, I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to take action. And so this is a practice that you can improve over time, but it's a conversation to just highlight just one area in your self leadership that can really make a difference. And, that's one thing I love about Prepare to Go There and this conversation and even this format. I realize that this is an investment, right? I'm showing up every day. I'm doing this coaching conversation, and it's like going on a long walk, and you're hiking and maybe you go uphill and you don't know what's on the other side of this thing. And you may be wondering, where's Peter taking us? And why is he talking about that? Or why is he talking about that still? I mean, come on, move on. But I don't feel rushed in this coaching conversation. I want to kind of slow down and make sure that we feel and get a grasp on how important self leadership really is and how much ground we can really cover and how much we can really talk about it and expand on it, because self leadership is foundational to a lifestyle of influence and impact. And so many people just want the shortcut. They want to breeze through this. They want to just get on with it so they can figure out how to automate, delegate, figure out how they can scale more. And I'm telling you, if you don't have the root structure, which is going to be underground, all growth, that real necessary growth is underground. And a lot of people, they feel handicapped in their leadership. They feel handcuffed in their influence because they see where they want to go, but they're like, I'm not there yet, and I don't see a way to get there. And what I want to encourage you with is there's actually a lot of stuff you can be doing right now. And if you will, be intentional about taming your time, you're going to figure out, like, as you actually are moving closer and closer towards that, you'll say, actually, I have a lot of work to do. I have more work than I expected to get there. I actually took steps in that direction to start that thing, to lead that thing, to be that kind of person. And it's a lot of work. And then you kind of have this weird backwards feeling where you're like, man, I feel like I need more time. I need more time. I'm not ready. Things are taking longer than I expected. What do I do? It's like, oh, that's what all that, preparation time was for. That's why I needed that time. And then you realize, oh, it's how I leverage the season I'm in today. And so self-leadership um, is a really powerful idea. If you are watching, go ahead and let me know which area you're going to get yourself going this week. Are you going to get yourself going in the morning routine? Are you going to get yourself going with your workflow? Are you going to get yourself going with a big goal that you have, or maybe a specific habit that you are working through? You got to learn, how do you get yourself going and not wait on other things when really those things are waiting on you. All right, the last one that I want to mention today is, how do you get yourself going just with being consistent in general? How do you actually start that unstoppable rhythm? How do you actually, build those habits, grow those habits over time that you look back and you're like, wow, this is really a part of me. This is kind of more of my identity than my duty. And I'm happy to be in this long game. I'm enjoying this journey. These are things that I value. These are things that are helping me and helping others. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Um, you have to get going just with consistency. You have to get going with being a consistent person, having integrity, having values that you're going to, grow with over time. And so being consistent is a skill set. Being consistent is something you can practice, and being consistent is something you can get better with over time. And what happens is we kind of have this light switch approach, right? On, off, on, off, on, off. And we feel on our game and then we're off our game. And then we're really motivated and then we're really discouraged. And then we're doing good for a while and then we fall off at a while. And we kind of have this on, off experience. But being consistent is more like a stair step approach where you're going to have, opportunities to really go for it, and you make that commitment and there's some sort of jump or some sort of change, some sort of choice where you actually have to put yourself out there, and then you have to hold that ground. You have to keep doing that new thing you said you were going to do. And you don't just like launch yourself all the way to the end. It's by making one step to get started and then another step to be consistent. And you do that, and then you take another step to try something else in the same direction. You're still going in the same direction, but little by little, you're just doing this stair step effect. So let me give you one case study as an example. I'll just use the show, this live stream. Prepare to go there. I did not have the complete roadmap for this live stream. I didn't have all of the pieces mapped out. I didn't have all of the information, processed. I had done a lot of research. I had been listening to some, people that I respect in this space. And I had enough motivation to get started, but not enough information to finish, to actually like see myself doing this forever. And I said, I have enough to get going. And so I just joined on this tool, and I put myself out there the first time on YouTube. And, honestly, that's a whole conversation in itself. It was kind of tough to kind of reimagine myself in a new space, to try to reintroduce myself to a new audience. There's a lot of questions that I have still to this day, but I just made that first step and I got started. And then I knew what I wanted to see. I knew kind of the format that I wanted to have. And so I made a little video, and I didn't even have it all put together. I just went into my phone and I found some memories that I had taken of video and pictures. And then I went on the internet and found some free images. And I just started to kind of cobble something together that would look like an intro video. And that's what the intro video is now. And I said, I have to do whatever it takes just to get started, whatever it takes just to get to that point. And so I made this little video, and it's okay. It's fun. It's good. You know, it got me where I am today, but what got you here won't get you there. Right. And so I put that out there, and I don't have the bandwidth at this point to kind of reinvent that whole intro, but I was willing just to keep it up. I was just thankful to have it, thankful to use it. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it would be slow and kind of stick, but I just had that, so I could keep playing that again and again and again. And eventually, just by that repetition and that consistency, it gave me enough time to kind of refuel, and it gave me enough time to improve. It gave me enough time to scale. And so I have a new checkpoint coming up, which will be the 50th. And I'm looking forward to just making another minor improvement, just starting something new, just in a little bit of a, one little change. And I'm going to make that change. And then I'll be able to run with that for a little bit. And then I'll make another change and then I'll run with that. And it's kind of like, when I say get started, get better, I don't mean you're just going to start one time in your whole life and that's the thing you're going to stick with the rest. It's more like, let me do something today that I can begin to run with and see progress on, and then get ideas for improvement. And then I will start again and again and again. So in other words, you don't have to start over to start again. You don't have to start over to start again. You just have to have a practice and a rhythm of taking those stair steps. Just make one little jump and then hold it, and then make another jump and then hold it, and then make another jump and hold it. And as long as you're, moving up and to the right, so to speak, then you will see the progress that keeps you motivated. But it's really important that you realize that once you find the master key to unlock your personal momentum, nobody else can take that away from you. And so that's why I'm not trying to just, tell you that, oh, well, you need an accountability partner for this, and then you need, this software for that, and you need this, whatever. Just, stay encouraged. Don't get discouraged. Keep going, keep growing, and ask yourself the question, what is it going to take to get myself going? Because once I get myself going, nobody else can slow me down. All right. You are a friend. I appreciate each of you and all of you watching. I want to remind you that the email community is waiting on you. We would love for you to be in on the Future Friends. You can get all the content and get the info and incentives for more projects, more opportunities. I am super excited about the Leadership Mastermind. We got 5 extra spaces. I'm giving that away. I would love for you to be a part of it. And then you can go to Instagram and see the details so you can get a part of that. Also, the free fail-proof planning guide. Just click on the link below this video. It'll take you to a quick landing page. Name and email. You will download this PDF instantly, and it'll help you begin to walk through a proven step-by-step planning process that'll help you look out at your future and really feel less fragile and start thinking more agile, so you can adapt, you can improvise, you can stay focused on the objective even when things are changing, and you will really just have a better grip on how do you lead yourself with a planning session. And as always, I want to remind you, you're doing a great job. You probably don't hear it enough, but let me be that voice of encouragement and reassurance that what you're working on is important, and the future is only going to get bigger and can only get brighter. And so keep hope alive and keep working on yourself and keep putting in the work today, because this journey called preparation is not just for you, it's for everybody else that is depending on you. And when you're in your own, kind of quest, and you're going through the future frontier, so to speak, you don't see a lot of other people, and you don't really feel like they're really counting on you when they are, and you just kind of feel alone. You feel like you're doing things on your own, and then that's when you get that subtle temptation. You say, well, nobody knows, nobody sees me, nobody cares, it doesn't matter, all of this work for nothing. And then little by little, you can kind of let your guard down. and quit pushing yourself. And so what I want you to do is say, no, this is important, and it's opening up new and needed ways for the future. Um, I am worth this, and others are going to be thankful. And, this is part of the process. This is a part of preparation. And I don't just want to show up, I want to show up ready. And I believe as you just keep going, keep growing, um, you're going to see a lot of growth in you and in those that are influenced by you. So thank you for making today count, because it really does matter. As always, you are going places in the future, amazing places. I can't even imagine how awesome that future is going to be. But don't think that it's automatic. Don't think that's just going to happen. I would encourage you, if you are convinced, like I am, that the future is going to be looking for leaders, then put in the work today. You don't have to wait for other people to give you permission. Uh, Take it upon yourself to prepare to go there. All right. I will be back tomorrow helping you get yourself going in the morning. Man, this is a fun topic. Morning routines, strategies, and tactics to get yourself going day by day, and how to keep it fun. How do you actually make it enjoyable? Let me see if I can click the right video to roll out, and I'll see you tomorrow.